Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we're coming to you live today. Today is Monday, February the 28th, 2022. And it's the last day of the month. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been quite the month. We have missed quite a few days this month in the show, but ladies and gentlemen, we will get things rock and rolling in the month of March. I'm happy to say my wife sold her business, so now I have more time to focus, do this, and make things happen, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, today on the podcast, we will discuss something very simple. We're going to discuss why you should focus on becoming great at one thing before you branch off and try to do 500 other things. Now, we all have these people that tell you multiple sources of income, which is great. Multiple sources of income. You know, you need this, you need that. It's all good and well. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is best to be a master of one trade than a jack of all trades and a master of none, okay? And the reason why you want to be a master of one is because if you're great at one thing, you can always fall back on that one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he can go out, do this, do that, everything else under the sun. But now he spent 20 years in the NFL. 20 years as a great football player. He can always find a job within the NFL, whether it be commentating, coaching, does not matter. Somebody wants to make him an assistant general manager, something. Tom Brady will always have a job linked to football until he doesn't want it anymore. He can go off, do 100 other things, but he can always fall back on football. And it's the same as, let's look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he was great at basketball. He quit. He retired. He went to go play baseball for a year and a half. He said, okay, enough of this. I'm going to go back and be a basketball player. He was great again. He had a great 3-year run. They won 3 more championships. The Bulls did, and it all worked out. And it's the same as you. It does not matter what you do, but you can be great at it. You know, if you want to focus on email marketing, if you want to become great at that, that is a skill set. If you want to be great at marketing through the mail, you can be great at that. There's so many different avenues you can go, and so many different things that you can become great at if you just focus on one thing. It's like, I know in the beginning I said I was going to do audio, I was going to do video, but the video was hard to do. It was challenging. It was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And so I just decided, I said, you know what? And plus I was bad at it. Let's be honest. I was terrible at it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get better with the audio. I'm going to master the audio. And then we're going to work on the videos. And so far, I've gotten a lot better, a whole lot better with the audio, you know. And I prefer audio, but, you know, I know you still have to do video sometimes. But I enjoy the audio a lot. I've gotten better, and I just want to get better and better with it, you know. And that's how it goes for me. So for you, you don't have to be a jack of all trades, you know. Find something that you're great at. Find something that you can really hone in your skills on, and then you can work that skill, and you can be able to make money from that skill, you know, easily. You know, you can always, let's say you become great at doing voiceovers. Become a voiceover coach. You know what I mean? Like, be working on your voiceover and coaching at the same time. I have been able to grow a podcast and get over 5,000 downloads. So I can tell somebody, hey, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, And I've gotten plenty of downloads without spending. I haven't spent a dime on marketing, you know what I mean? So just think when I when I actually kick in the whole marketing campaign, the whole thing about getting known, it's gonna go up, 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 and up. But so far, I can write a book about podcasting without marketing, blah 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 blah. You have to think about the different ways you can branch off the thing you're great at. You have to think about the things that you can branch off, and there's so many different ways you can go with that. You can dig more and more into that. That's another thing that you have to think about. You don't have to go out. I'll give you another example. Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki, he did Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Talked about real estate. Talked about his, parents, his growing up and everything. He has turned that book into a whole business. And right now I am looking at a game that I bought from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad company called Cash Flow. Get Out of the Rat Race. It's a very good game, actually. I enjoy the game. And I've bought a couple of his books, and I watch his YouTube from time to time. And he has a whole system out of that one book. He was great at the book. The book was his greatness. And now he has taken that book and has done a lot more things with that book, I don't know anything about his real estate. I'm pretty sure he's into real estate, because you can't really, it's kind of hard to fake that. But I know on the other, the real estate side, he took the real estate side, wrote a book, and now he's just dug deeper and deeper. He doesn't go into, what's the thing? He doesn't talk about, I don't know, sports. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't try to branch off He's branched off a lot of different ways through the Rich Dad, Poor Dad company. Through the real estate. Through the book. So that's another thing. You can do different things, and you can do different things with the same thing you're great at. You don't have to necessarily go over here, go over there, go over there, go over there. You can stick with that. It's like trying to think of another example. It's like I'll give you another example. Magic Johnson. He went to the Lakers. He signed a deal with the Lakers. And I remember he wanted to become. He told his owner he wanted to be rich. He wanted to be wealthy. And so the owner said, "I give you a deal. We work on this deal. I pay you some amount of money. Then after that, you can own a piece of the team." And Magic Johnson, he has taken that. He has taken what he learned from these guys on the Lakers. And he has taken that, and he has taken his sports intellect. He has taken everything he's learned in sports, and he took that to the business world, and he has become highly successful in a lot of different businesses. Now he owns a piece of the Dodgers, and that's more money than he's probably that's more shares he had with the Dodgers than he did with the Lakers. And he has taken the one thing basketball. He's taken the one thing basketball. Made itself great in that, and done a lot of different things in the business world, done a lot of assisting in the business world as he threw a lot of assists, Now the Magic Johnson analogy is not a great one, but the other ones, the Robert Kiyosaki's and all that, those are pretty good. The Magic Johnson one's kind of a reach, but you understand what I'm saying. Just be great at one thing, and you can turn that into a few different ways, a few different incomes. You don't necessarily have to. The thing I'm saying is, you don't have to necessarily go 50 miles this way, 50 miles that way to find other sources of income. The source of income can be right there. I read this book by Dan Kennedy, and he talked about the different ways you can find money inside your business. and the different ways that you can make money in your business that you probably are not seeing. And so it made me think. It made me think of this topic. It made me think of this thing today. So don't look. You don't have to look over here, over there, over there. Look in your business. See, what can I do? What more can I do? Let's say you have a plumbing company. One of the easiest things you can do if you have a plumbing company, okay, you're an expert at plumbing. You have a business. You can start selling information products about plumbing, about what to do. DIY. Everybody wants to be DIY. Everybody wants to run to Home Depot and fix things. You can start a YouTube channel. You can write pamphlets. You can do this. You can do that. Because I know me and my wife, we own a house. And so sometimes we pay people. Sometimes we don't want to pay people. Sometimes we want to figure out how to fix something ourselves. And so I'll go to YouTube, look up something, and I'm like, all right. And so I study the YouTube video, and sometimes I go get the tools that they recommend, bring the tools back, fix the thing that needs to be fixed while I'm watching the video, and it helps. And so if you run a business like that, it's so easy to do education. Never think that the information that you have in your head is worth nothing. Okay, everything that you have learned in your life is worth something. It's valuable. So keep that in mind. It's like, before I give you an example of what not to do. Before, when I've driven trucks for 16 years, and I remember my wife used to want me to buy a truck and get into trucking, and I used to be like, but I was short-sighted in my vision, because sometimes I had frustrations about truck driving. Instead of me just taking a deep breath and thinking, you know what, she's right. I've learned all this knowledge. Why let it go to waste? I would be like, I want to do something different, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I'm going to do something different, but I've seen her. It's finally sunk into me that I need to keep my finger on the truck and don't completely let it go, but figure out something that I can do. I don't have to sit in the truck and drive all day, but something that I can do that, will still benefit from me, because why let 16 years of knowledge go to waste? You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, learn from me. Don't be short-sighted. If you're good at something, you're great at something already, figure out what you can do to make money from that, and master that, and make all the monies that you possibly can. All right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is it for the podcast. We will be back tomorrow, I promise, with the all-new episode of Online Marketing Moves. These episodes will come out. I'll try to make these episodes come out a lot earlier than what they have been lately for the last 6 months. I know I appreciate you being patient, but it's been a lot going on. But now some of the storm is passing it by, so we'll be good to go. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to make things happen. We got a podcast to build up. We got a community to build up. So, let's make it happen. But we'll be back tomorrow with the all-new episode of Online Marketing Moves, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call it Online Marketing Moves. Now, today is Sunday, and today we are going to talk about life. Life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of landmines, but if you're going to be successful in life, then you have to take the good, you have to take the bad, you have to take the whole thing, especially if you want to achieve at a high level. The higher the level, the bigger the bigger the ups and the bigger the downs could be. Okay, it's like dice. If you ever shot dice and you roll craps, you're like, But if you want to succeed, if you want to you know, if your main goal is to accomplish something great in your life, then you're gonna have to take chances. You're gonna have to take risks. You're gonna fall. Things are gonna hurt. Things are gonna be annoy you. Things are gonna make you happy. Things are gonna make you sad. It's just the way it is. And then you can go through life. You can go through the motions, but one day you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna be very happy from that. Or you could shake it off today. You could say, "Hey, let me get started. Let me do what I do, and try start your mission." And believe you me, Jack, when you start your mission, you will learn the bumps. Or there will be plenty of bumps, but there'll also be good things. You know what I mean? And just go out there, have a plan. Aim as high as possible. I thought about this morning. I was looking at my ceiling. I thought to myself, I'm gonna. You can't let anything or anybody stop you. You have to, swing big. You don't have to. The goal. You don't have to. You can have lofty goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can achieve those goals. You have to have a laser focus. And there are going to be things to try to distract you all the time. Just think about if you ever wanted to, record a video and you're like, and you're watching TV and you're like, you know, these are things that you have to just, get over. And, I'll tell you a conversation I had with my wife last night. And she was annoyed because one of her employees, she's probably going to have to let go because they are becoming a real pain. And she was like, I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's me, it's you, and I'll support you no matter what. So, people are gonna come and people are gonna go, but as long as we're together, as long as we hold the fort down, everything else will be all right. And you have to have that kind of mentality. We talked about this week. It's not personal. It's just business. And in business, things are gonna happen. Just as in life, things are gonna happen. And you know, have a plan and start doing the thing that you want to do. And there's nothing that there's nothing that you if you really want to do something, you know, there's nothing that should stop you from trying to do it, making the attempts to actually doing it. I know sometimes like, yeah, you might want to open a McDonald's franchise, but you don't have the $1 million. But you could start doing things like, getting your credit together. You can start doing things like figuring out, maybe a different way you can go about generating the money for a franchise or something like that. I'm just giving you an example, but there's different avenues you can go down. There's different roads you can take. There's different routes that you can do. Everything is not, sometimes the road to where you want to go is not going to be a straight direction. You might have to go here, you might have to go there, you might have to go north, northwest, come back around. You might have to go all around the world and then come back to it. But eventually you will come to it. But eventually you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep the focus on what you want to do. And yeah, sometimes things get in the way, but you can't let them deter you. If you let friends or family or your job or people, or if you let anything get in the way of what you want to do, then did you really want to do it? There should be nothing or anybody that's going to stop you from doing what you want to do. And there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a bump. There's always going to be, I was just looking, I was telling my wife today, I said, we always got a light out, like there's always a light bulb that's out. And I'm always, we have a nice sized house. So you look around and you're like, another light? And it's like, what is this? There's always going to be a light. It's always going to be something, you know what I mean? Like that's just a metaphor of life. There's always going to be something. But what you can do is don't make it out to be a big deal. It's like small fires in life. Aim at the base. Shoot the little fire out. Don't let it get big. Don't let it get too big. Don't let it grow into a forest fire. You know what I mean? Put the little fires out and keep it moving. Do the things that you need to do. There's gonna be distractions. Take care of the distractions. Boom, 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 and keep going. Because there's always gonna be landmines. It's just the way it is. And what you can do is, write your plan out. Focus. If something comes up, you take care of it right then or right there, or you say, "Hey, I'll come back," but more you probably should just take care of it right then, right there, and say, "All right, that's done. Then let me move forward." And there's gonna be another thing that pops up, and it's like, let me take care of it right then. Let me take care of it right there, because you don't want to. You don't want things to keep growing and festering while you're trying to do something, because that's going to be more. It's going to become a bigger and bigger and bigger distraction. And what you want to do is you want to stay away from all those distractions. You know what I mean? You want to really hone in and really hunker down the thing that you want to do, the thing that you want to accomplish. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be, there's always, always, always going to be landmines, but you can avoid them. Or if you run over one, don't make it a big one. Make it a pew, like a little bitty one. You can squash it out before it gets too big. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's podcast. We will be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizano. I appreciate you for listening. Everybody who's listening to this podcast, tell a friend about the best podcast in the galaxy. All right. We're not. No, we're the best. We're the best of the best. All right. But we'll be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizano. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.